Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to this new Capcom vs Konami series playthrough. I'm gonna be playing Bionic Commando for the Game Boy. Well, before starting talking about the game itself and all that, I know some of you actually watched my original recording on the first part of Bionic Commando playthrough around a week ago. I decided to erase it because I actually recorded that from the emulator, the Game Boy emulator for the Wii, and honestly, playing this game with a controller was a complete disaster. Even if, of course, I could rewind, use save states and all that, as you know, but I felt really uncomfortable playing that game with a controller. That's why I switched back to the PC emulator and play pretty much in the way I like, with keyboard. It will always depend on the type of game I'm playing, but for this one in particular, a controller did not, I did not do well at all. Well, some of you might be wondering why I'm playing this version instead of the NES one, which is, well, the better known version. I don't know if the best, maybe, if we actually make the comparison, this one could be a bit better, who knows. Well, this is intended to be a direct port of the NES version, which got released in 1988. This one got released 4 years later, in 1992. You will see on the title screen right now. But I think the plots and essentially, of course, the controls and the gameplay will be exactly the same, or are exactly the same as the NES. But I think there are some differences in terms of levels. I'm not that familiar with the NES version. At some point I would like to play in order to compare both. So basically here I have to go rescue Super Joe. I am Rat Spencer, right? I play as him. And I have to stop the Albatross projects. There will be other members of the FF Corps to assist me. So yeah, the same idea of going to different levels, different areas in this map. Going to Area 0 first. Well, we don't have so many items to choose from, so we are going for the basic weapon and the basic video receiver, the alpha receiver. I had special difficulty doing this diagonal Bionic R moves with a controller. Trust me, with the keyboard it's so much easier, and it works like almost immediately. I would say immediately, pretty much 100% of the time. Well, here we have these sort of checkpoints, communication rooms. Don't forget to contact our blah blah blah. Use the communication rooms to open doors, to open areas, and to contact agents, basically. Tap enemy communications if necessary, but be careful. If you are detected, tapping enemy soldiers will attack, yeah. That's pretty much what's gonna happen in every room. Listen up. Keep the enemy away from this power reactor. Yes, sir! And you can select the items again, in case you need it to change. Well, there is nothing to change right now, so obviously not gonna do it. And more than likely I won't be doing that, since I will be carefully it's just a way of saying, but I will try to select the most suitable weapon for each level, for me not to be changing in the process and have, you know, issues in the middle of certain mission, like desperately trying to get to a checkpoint in order to change. That's another idea. The music is somehow different too from the NES. There are some songs that get repeated, but I remember this one being a bit different. Here's the pause menu. You can see the amount of cartridges you are grabbing by killing enemies, the amount of lives, and the amount of continues. Those cartridges are basically health upgrades. You need to get a certain amount of cartridges for you to get some extra life points at the bottom. You start with 3, you end up like with 8 or 9. And in every boss room, there will be a core you're supposed to destroy, sometimes with a actual boss to fight. Some of the times just a bunch of enemies attacking you, like right now. Of course, it starts out very easily. And then it will become more difficult. Well, some sort of victory pose or victory screen. I don't recall on the NES at all. So let's go to Area 1. There's a closed door. Well, sometimes you'll have to get to these communication rooms in order to open those other closed doors. Look at this, the race army destroyed the elevator. And now let's tap the enemy communications. Captain, can you tell me how to operate the elevators? Jump onto the elevator and push either up or down. Yes, sir. Oh, no! I forgot to tell you that one of the elevators will crash if you step on it. Basically, the idea of tapping enemy communications is pretty much to know what you are supposed to expect in a certain area or what to do in case you get stuck for whatever reason. Well, in this case, they are telling you the controls to operate the elevators by pretty much pushing up or down. Yeah, the other elevator that I didn't write is the broken one. Well, that's not even much of a problem because you basically have to like find the right area for you to use the bionic arm and access. Well, this is pretty much the place I was looking for, like the right path to the exits. 17 cartridges. Of course, they will be asking for more as you get more upgrades. That means I already got a 4th energy points. I think I needed 16 at first. Area 2 is a neutral area. You can obtain items as well as info. And in there you're supposed to be a pacifist. Captain, intelligence says that okay, someone broke into the base, gather some troops, intercept and defeat them. It's only me. I mean, yeah, in theory the FF Corps are like in here and helping all together. I don't know, for some reason I find this game easier than the NES. I remember streaming the NES like a year ago. That was after I streamed this one. This one I did it on 2010, I think, on the Naked Gaming Times. And yeah, I decided to do the NES in order to compare precisely, but I actually got stuck and I did terrible. So I kind of quit. It's hard to get continues too. You will see that it's relatively easy to get extra continues in this version. Like in this sort of in-between missions mini levels. Okay, I'm about to die, but I think this boss area is relatively easy too. I mean, it's just a bunch of enemies attacking you. Stop now, be destroyed. Okay. That guy at the bottom could be a little bit of a pain in the ass, so that's why you just have to avoid going down. I mean, usually the way of destroying these guys with shields is by shooting them from behind, but you still gotta take some hit if you want to do that effectively. No need to do so right now. Oh yeah, and you obtain 10 extra cartridges as a bonus every time you clear an area. And you get different items. In this case I got bioprotein. Actually I have no idea what it does. I used to have a guide with me in order to pretty much guide myself. Oh, that's the whole point. But yeah, these are tools that I will be equipping, basically because they are the only things available right now. This is a neutral area. Please keep in mind that you are prohibited from firing. Yeah, this message is gonna be repeated every time I get to a neutral area, so I'm gonna be skipping it after that. Super Joe? That has happened to our hero. Yeah, it's everybody's hero now. Then you can get certain items, sometimes you can get extra lives. 34, that means, yeah, I got a 5th life points. You can talk to everybody, but not everybody is gonna tell you something interesting. I'm glad you're here. Press the start button to launch a flare. Okay, you will need the flare in only one area of the game, which is precisely the item I'm grabbing now. That's why you need to visit these neutral areas. Even if technically you don't fight anybody, you get attacked if you fire once. Okay, I guess I'm gonna stop it here, and next time we're gonna do some more missions. So I wanna thank you all for watching. Let me see. I'm gonna do 2 or 3 more missions next time. Usually I'm gonna try to do like one whole area, or yeah, an actual mission, 1 or 2 depending on the length, and some neutral area too, to have a little bit of everything. So, thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next episode.